Greetings friends, Victoria, Nate, Melis, anyone else who we happen to send this to. Just wanted to send a quick update from our garden. Probably hard to imagine, but when we started, this whole thing was covered in kudzu and 50 years worth of trash. We found a whole lot of stuff going back all the way to the 1940s and 50s, some really weird stuff. We have the first big plant we planted. This was our first little box here. But this tomato is now 7 feet tall and has a lot of really good growth on it, putting off a lot of leaves. Our jalapeno here is also putting them off faster than we can eat them. Lindsay made these cute little cards to tell you what everything is. But right around the corner, our second box is cucumbers, and these are all growing like mad. We're getting probably a dozen cucumbers within the next week. Really kind of fun to watch the bees come around and pollinate them and turn little ones into large ones. Our neighbor has now started participating, officially making this a community garden, and she's made these rock walls and herb gardens, and we made a deck up there. Here are the onions going back to, well, more cucumbers, but also a really large husky cherry plant that probably has 50 to 60 different tomatoes all on the little vines here, stretching about 8 feet in the air. Now all these, this whole row back here are different types of cherry tomatoes, different varieties that we've mixed in. The zucchini are also going nuts. Some are going straight vertical quite quickly, as you can tell, while others are kind of staying lower to the ground and bushing out. We lined the walkway with snap peas and basil, mixing into different eggplants and peppers back in here. Here's one of our eggplants. Different types of sweet peppers. These are all bell peppers, about 3 feet tall. Got a habanero back here in the corner, doing pretty well next to a pimento. Here are more and more tomatoes. We'll probably have 100 here in the next few weeks. Slowly starting to develop and really ripen on the vine. We've also got, most of these are heirloom, so they take a little while, but things like Purple Cherokee, Mr. Stripey, things like that. And then this row over here is called Better Boy. There's a whole bunch of these larger tomatoes all mixed in here, which has really been quite nice to kind of watch the process. We have a few that kind of dance the line between sweet. This is called a candy cane pepper. If you look at the way that the peppers are striped, they start off with a little bit of a kick and then turn kind of sweet. We were having issues originally once we started because of this tree here, which we have since cut down and turned into a table. Over here is the last raised bed. Down here in the bottom have okra about 2 feet tall. This pepper right here is called a Carolina Reaper. It's the hottest pepper on earth. I'm actually a little nervous to see what that's going to turn out. These are mostly sun sugar and other smaller heirloom varieties mixed in here. Once we figured out how to start cloning, like this for example is a clone. You take a cut of the tomato plant and you can grow a whole new plant from it pretty easily. Got carrots and everything up along the side. And here we have yellow sparkler, which is also a sweet that starts off with a little burn. A chili plant that puts off quite a few pretty regularly. And then behind that is a ghost pepper, which is the second hottest pepper. I might be bold enough to try and eat that one. Coming up the hill here, you've got a sweet potato that we're growing in this pot. Cat grass, things for the cats, catnip. Lindsay grows sunflower, lavender, other things to try and bring around pollinators. These are more tomatoes, a gardenia. If you plant a bulb of garlic, it'll actually grow whole new bulbs. So we've got those in these pots here. This giant thing growing down the hill here and all the way down the garden is a giant watermelon plant. We didn't expect it would possibly get this big. In doing so, we came to realize that we didn't have enough pollinators, so we got some different types of flowers and have started growing them all up here along the hill to try and fight the kudzu. Some are doing better than others, but yeah, they're bringing the pollinators and thus the fruit with them, which has been nice. Little lantana species and the like. To repurpose as much trash as possible, making things like this bird feeder and other bird houses around the area. And if you go just beyond our community garden, back here you have my neighbor Kelly, who works with Alabama Rivers Alliance, and she has done amazing things with this back porch. I think half the reason that our stuff gets pollinated is because she has the flowers and all the things that bring everything from hummingbirds to bees. But overall, yeah, it's a hot summer, but a lot going on the vine. So these little things called suckers on the tomatoes are the bane of my existence. They're putting off so many new branches so fast that the plants can't support themselves, so you have to pick them every so often. And they are everywhere. So this is what I spend probably an hour or so doing each day, which is kind of cool and therapeutic in its own right. That's our garden. We hope you're well and hope to talk soon.